Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now today I want to do a video on how I found my style and kind of share some tips and tricks for you to try and find your style. So I feel that when people are trying to find a style, there's no real right or wrong way of doing something. I feel that's what I love with fashion and start like sort of finding your style. Is everybody has such different styles and everybody has different tastes and sort of rules to an extent. You know, some people would be like, for example, some people are like, oh, double denim, I love. Some people hate double denim. And I feel that it's kind of really important to kind of find your individual sort of style of like sort of what you feel sort of you're comfortable in. And I just thought I'd go through some tips and tricks, ways that I've found my style, and just feel as well that when you find a style, it's not necessarily that you're then set in that for life, because your style adapts as you get older, as you go to different places, as you discover new things. And I think that's something else that's really exciting and special with fashion, is that it's never sort of the same for very long, which can be a nightmare in your bank account. But I feel if you're trying to get things right, you won't have to sort of constantly be buying new things or constantly sort of change. You can kind of adapt to what you already have, and you may not want to follow a trend. And I feel that's something that I want to touch upon as well, is although there's trends that you may love, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to get them. So sometimes it's nice to just look at the trend and go, yeah, that's really nice, I just see myself wearing that. However, I don't need it, so it's going to stay on the shelf or it's going to stay on the website. My style, I wouldn't really know what you'd call my style. It's a little bit all over the place, and I feel that that's something else as well, is that that's okay, because I always used to feel that, oh, you know, you sort of have to find a style and you have to stick within one style type, and it's like, actually, you know, you can dabble in each one. So you might have a little bit of streetwear, you might have a little bit of vintage, you might collaborate the two and go vintage streetwear, or you might have, you know, sort of go, oh, you know, I want to sort of go into more like formal all the time and shirt and tie and trousers. But just because you like wearing that as well doesn't mean that you can't then go into like streets or into vintage or any other sort of different styles that there are. That's something else that I think is really important, is just sort of finding like that you don't have to just stick within one style box, if that makes sense. The way in which I found my style was I use Pinterest a lot for different outfits, whether that's sort of basic, you know, sort of basing an outfit out of things I already own, or whether I kind of look at an outfit and go, right, I don't have that, so I'm going to go and look for something like, you know, that particular sort of jacket or that particular sort of shirt. And I've written down here a couple of celebrities actually kind of that I would sort of say are more standout for me with what they wear and sort of how they dress, which are kind of, I almost try and implement sort of elements of their style into my wardrobe and kind of hand into my. The first one is Sam Fender. Now, I think Sam Fender is probably a little bit more realistic than the other one, because he wears a lot of like, you know, I've seen him in like ASOS tops, I've seen him in like Topman stuff. So it's more sort of high street, sort of affordable brands, which so you can recreate his outfits a little bit more sort of like for like, as opposed to sort of having to find alternatives. It's slightly more high budget. But I feel with him, he wears a lot of like oversized t-shirts. You know, he's got like there's this one jacket he wore to the Brit Awards, which I had a look. Yes, it was a really expensive jacket, but I was like, if ever that goes down in price or I can find it online in stock somewhere, that is 100% being purchased. I'll try and put a picture of it on now. It was just this amazing jacket that he wore to one of the Brit Awards, sort of red carpets, and it was just like this like Harrington style jacket. It was absolutely, I loved it. I was like, I need that jacket. I feel like the peak style he had was during the sort of his Dead Boys sort of Hypersonic Missiles album. The sort of style he had sort of during that phase of his life, kind of the biggest inspiration. You know, so that was when the really oversized t-shirts were out, that sort of thing. So he's definitely one. And the other one I've got written down here is Nick Grimshaw. Now, Nick Grimshaw, I can't really follow too much because he wears a lot of like mega brands. Like when I mean mega brands, like I think I saw a shirt he was wearing. Was like, excellent, we'll do that. Did an image search on Google. It was like £700. Now, it was a lovely shirt. Don't know if I'm quite ready to spend £700 on a shirt that I'm likely going to get ketchup down. So, yeah, we had to find a dupe for that. So I've written him down because he is a style sort of somebody that I sort of like his sort of shirt, like his shirts he wears, like his sort of how they just flow and like the patterns on them. But as I say, the pricing of them perhaps maybe not one I can follow like for like. They're two people that their sort of style and fashion is something that I kind of try and take inspiration from. And as I say, I don't try and copy their outfits like for like, because as I say, sometimes it's virtually impossible because you either can't find the item or you can't afford the item. And also, I don't want to be like completely copying them because I also want it to be my style as well and kind of add my twist to it. So I kind of got elements of the both. So one outfit that they both like. So I might take a little aspect from Nick Grimshaw's outfit and an aspect from Sam Fender and kind of put them both together. Then you've got my outfit. As I said as well, another thing that is really sort of helps me is Pinterest. I have various Pinterest boards based on as whether that's pictures from magazines, pictures from photo shoots, paparazzi pictures. I just sort of like as well because I feel that Pinterest is such an important or such a useful tool for when you're finding style because you open one image, images are underneath it, and then you kind of before you know it you're in a bit of a black hole for sort of pictures, and then it's a picture and picture and picture, and then you sort of just get these like amazing boards then of sort of all different styles and different outfits. So as I say, you literally can type in an outfit you want, it will come up with all these pictures, and then you just sort of go from there. It's just really helpful. So if you are struggling to sort of find a style, just like Google a celebrity that's in sort of in the media at the moment on Pinterest, and then there's just loads of pictures will come up. To kind of wrap up, I feel like the best way to find style is find a person that you like their style in general, you like what they wear, and sort of go from there. Whether then you look for specific brands that do that type of clothing, or you just sort of find somewhere in general. But I feel the most important thing to sort of stay with fashion and finding your style is to make sure that you're comfortable, because it's no point buying something if you're not comfortable in it, because it just doesn't work. I hope that kind of helped and made sense and wasn't me waffling on for too long. But I just wanted to do like a brief video just sort of on finding style and kind of how I've found my style. Because as I say, your style doesn't finish developing when you hit a certain age. If anything, it's a constant throughout your life, ongoing. My style now is completely different to what I was when I was 18, and I'll probably look back in this in years to come and go, my style now is completely different to what it is now. Thanks for watching. If you got this far, that's great. Thank you. Hope I wasn't waffling on too much. I do like to sort of go on little tangents, I've noticed, but yeah, that's also apologies there was a bit of delay with videos. I just was struggling content wise for a little bit, but we seem to be back in the swing of things now, so I'll be back very soon with another video. But in the meantime, do all the usual things down below, and I'll see you all very soon in another video. Bye bye.